Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about Tether. Tether has a big deadline coming up, specifically in the EU, and everybody's paying attention, especially in the crypto space, to see if it will be delisted from their exchanges or one by one, or what's going to happen. No one knows. And then there's FUD out there that's saying, hey, if Tether fails, in the EU, could it impact the crypto space, and could that mess up the bull run that we are waiting for, that we're currently in and wanting to see the parabolic, or Raoul Powell like to say the banana zone? Is it going to impact that at all? So let's take a look at this in other crypto news. Guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button. If you want to see more of my content, please subscribe to the channel. So this is the big news, right? The MiCA, which is the EU's crypto regulatory department, they're looking at USDT to see if it's, compliant with their regulations and all of that. And in on December 30th, they have to make a decision. There's been no announcement yet, but they've been silent. And some people are taking this silence as, hey, they're about to delist these USDT from the crypto spaces. So I don't know. But if we read the tea leaves, we see that Coinbase has already stopped issuing USDT to EU members. USDT, for those who don't know, is a big stable coin, probably the biggest per market cap in the crypto space. So if any FUD circulates around that stable coin, everybody becomes concerned. So with Coinbase, they're already proactive. They stopped doing that. So we will see if others will follow on December 30th. Now, my opinion on this is that, yes, it's kind of something that we should take a look at. But if we look at USDT in the supply, it is huge, right? This is Artemis, and we look at the total supply is 143 billion, right? And it's still comparable. It hasn't depegged yet with this news. And the next biggest one will be USDC, Circle stablecoin, at 42.4 billion, right? And if we look at the outflows, this is a 1 month outflow. You don't even see USDT registering as far as outflows go. So right now it's very stable. No one's rushing out and getting rid of Tether because of this news. I think it's something that pay attention to, but I don't think it's going to make much of a difference right now. But we will pay attention to that December 30th date to see what happens. USDT is on many, many different chains. Here in the US is still available. And USDT's faced many, much FUD before in the past, as far as what it's backed by, and if it has enough supply, and everything. It dispelled all those rumors. Matter of fact, they're buying Bitcoin as well. So USDT, I think, is, as far as fiscally, I think that they're sound, and I don't think there's anything to pay attention, or to worry about, rather. So December 30th, put that on your calendars. We'll see what happens there, right? To all my EU members out there, I would just say, hey, if you're concerned about it, transfer into whatever the stable coin of your choice is. You have PayPal has one. Circle is probably the one that I like. And just wait and see what happens. Now, let's take a look at the crypto space in general. We see that the market cap is down almost 1% to 3.29 trillion. And then we see that trading volume for 24 hours, about 129 billion. Dominance, Bitcoin dominance is still high, 56.9. ETH dominance is ticking down even lower, 12.2. And that could be for a number of reasons. Solana, and you have Sui, you have all these L1s now that are killing it. They're killing it, and they're taking market share from ETH. Although ETH still has some good news. They have the spot ETF, and we'll show you a little bit later that there's some supply. So ETH could be back on the come up. So I won't say that ETH is dead yet. It's still doing all right. So let's take a look at Bitcoin at the time of the videos at $94,000, ETH at 3,300, XRP $2.16, Solana 185, ADA 88 cents, Avalanche $37, Toncoin $5, Chainlink 22.6, Sui $4.22, Hedera 27 cents, and I can go on. Litecoin 103, Near Protocol 520. And if we look at TVL, according to DeFi Llama, we see that ETH is still the number one. That's why I say you can't count ETH out yet. 68 billion. Solana, 8 billion. That's the next closest one, 8 billion. So DeFi, ETH has that locked. If we see Base is doing pretty good at 3.6 billion, Arbitrum 3 billion, Sui 1.7 billion. They're on the come up. Hyperliquid, I did a video about them a couple of days ago. Check that one out. 1.6 billion. Avalanche 1.3 billion. Aptos 900 million, and so on. Let's take a look at ADA. ADA has 475 million. Going down here, Toncoin has about 260 million, near 248 million as far as TVL locked. And then Say has 219 million. Let's take a look at Algorand down here. Algorand has 134 million. So as far as DeFi goes, the top dogs are up here. So I want to say if you're a DeFi and that's what you want to focus on as far as your investments go, you can't go wrong with ETH, Solana, Sui, Hyperliquid, which is kind of like an exchange, Avalanche, Aptos. Those are the ones you want to focus on if you're into DeFi and that's your play for 2025. Now, let's take a look at DEX volume on all these L1s, right? And if we look at this, the top dog is going to be Solana. Solana has 110 billion in DEX volume for December alone. ETH has 86 billion. Sui, don't sleep on Sui, 10.5 billion. Avalanche C-Chain, 8 billion. Polygon, 6.4. Aptos, 1.3 billion. Ton, 854 million. ADA, 409 million. Go ADA. And Near, 294 million. So that's nice to see ADA coming up as far as DEX volume for December. ADA did have a good November, good December, based on information that they're going to be integrated and communicating with the new administration here in the US. So that's nice to see. But DEX volume is looking good. Let's take a look at the revenue for these L1s. The top one's going to be ETH with 166 million. Solana at 54.7 million. Then you have Avalanche at 1.7 million, and so on. Now, let's take a look at daily active addresses here. This is per Artemis. So daily active addresses, we see that Aptos has 939,000. ADA only 32,000. ETH 422,000. Near 3.5 million daily active addresses. That's interesting. Solana 5.1 million. That's the big one. That's the best. That's number one as far as daily active addresses per Artemis. Next, you have Sui at 628,000 and Ton 330,000. So when I'm looking at L1s, I'm looking at total value lock as far as DeFi goes, and I'm looking at daily active addresses. I want people that are on the L1 using the dApps, using the chain, using the native coin. And right now you see that Solana is the number one. And then after that, you have Near, which is a good play in my view because of the AI narrative that it has. And I don't know how accurate this is, but there's a lot of people on Near. So pay attention. And then next you see Aptos at 939 and then Sui 628. So Sui and Aptos are basically from founders of Facebook's when they tried to get into blockchain. They delved off and did their own chains, and you see that all the talk is with Sui. All the big promoters and the big influencers like Raoul Pal, Marty Party, they talk about Sui, but no one talks about Aptos. And Aptos, per what I'm seeing here, they have more daily active addresses, and they're on the come up. If we look at their TVL, let's go back here and look at that. Aptos TVL 980 million versus Sui 1.7 billion. So pay attention to Aptos. Now, let's look at smart money for the week ending last week. And we see that smart money, as far as these ETFs and VCs, last week ending, 375 million went into Bitcoin. 51.3 went into Ethereum. So Ethereum, although it's down right now, I think that Ethereum will have a good 2025. Solana had an outflow of 8.7 million. And I believe that's 8.7 million is left that and went back into Ethereum. That's what I think. XRP 8.8 million. That's very bullish for XRP. And not to mention that stable coin that we hear about. Now, could with USDT and the EU possibly be on the outs, could XRP stablecoin replace that? We'll see. Litecoin, I believe, is going to be the number 2 to Bitcoin this cycle. That's just my humble opinion. That after people realize that they missed the ship with Bitcoin and it's too much, that they're going to be looking for alternatives. And they may look at Bitcoin Cash, but I think after Bitcoin Cash, they're going to look at Litecoin. More of a supply, but it's a set supply, and it's the same type deal, right? I'd rather spend Litecoin than Bitcoin. So I think Litecoin is going to do all right. ADA had an inflow of 700,000 and Chainlink 1.7 million. Not too shabby. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin performance since the halving according to HODL 15 Capital. And if we look at history, doesn't always match, but it tends to rhyme. This is where we at currently. Look at what happens after. Right? Of course, you have some, downturns, but you pretty much, you're going up higher, 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 higher. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm telling you guys, the best is up. It's coming. You just got to be patient and you'll be rewarded. Next, let's take a look at this as far as the top companies holding Bitcoin and the number of Bitcoins that they have. You see here, MicroStrategy is the top with over 444,000 Bitcoins. And we'll talk about MicroStrategy a little later. Then you have a bunch of mining companies, Marathon, Riot, Hut 8. Tesla owns 9,720. Coinbase, which is the, sex here that we have, 9,480. Block, which is Square, 8,363. And then we go down and down and down. But there are a lot of companies. This is only the top 70, and it's just growing. And here, what I like about this, you're showing all the different countries. MetaPlanet, which is embracing the Bitcoin strategies, just like MicroStrategy, they're already up to 1,761, and they're out of Japan. And just look at all these different companies, right? Japan, Singapore, Norway, Thailand, Malta, Argentina, China, Turkey. It's going to happen pretty soon. All these other companies will be like, wait a minute, I want to hold some too. I don't want to be left behind. And then that supply crunch is going to happen. And then we'll see our price of Bitcoin go to prices we never imagined. I mean, we did imagine it, but it won't happen. It's going to happen as fast, much faster than we thought it was ever going to happen. So I'm here for it, and I can't wait to see what happens. Next in news, we have Do Kwon. We know with Terra Luna how that was the darling of the last cycle, and then it suddenly became the worst enemy, and everyone hated it. That thing was just rising and rising in price and going crazy. They were holding Bitcoin and all of that, and then things turned sour, and that was the beginning of the bear market for last season. But anyway, Montenegro justice or court ruled that he can be extradited to the U.S., so that's going to be interesting. That he's similar to SBF, where they were once the darlings of the crypto space, and they became very notorious and just public enemy number 1 and 2. So he's going to be headed. I don't know if they have a date set yet, but we'll be following that trial. Also, a meme coin that I like a lot, that's on Solana, Bonk. They burnt about 51 million tokens, I believe. And you would think after that type of deflation news that the price would rise, but it did not. That could have been partly due to the delay. It was supposed to happen on Christmas, but didn't happen until the day after. But Bonk is one that I like a lot and that I hold, and I'm going to continue to hold because I think it has some price movement. I think it's going to do very well. So we'll see what happens with that. So since December 26 burn event, the token is down 7.2% with a market cap of 2.3 billion. To put things in perspective, at one point you had Shiba that was at a 20 million market cap, maybe even higher than that. And this is right now at 2.3 billion. So if anything, not financial advice, if you're looking for a meme, you probably want to take a look at this one. It's on the chain that's the hottest right now. And it has a name, it has staying power, it has a community. It's not a rug pull. It's not bad. It's the 4th largest meme coin. So let's take a look and see what happens with Bonk. Also, Russia bans crypto mining for 6 years in 10 regions. So at first it was a ban, then it was just a restriction. Just based on seasons and everything like that due to their electricity infrastructure. So it's not a total ban. But different regions are being placed on restrictions. And to combat that, the foreign minister, I believe, also said that they can use Bitcoin in order to transact. Obviously, we know they're going through a war right now, and they have some some limitations, some embargoes, and all of that, where they really can't have monetary businesses from different countries and all of that. So the way they supersede that is by going with Bitcoin, and they are using Bitcoin. So when you hear Russia banning and everything like that, don't believe the hype. They're still using Bitcoin. They still believe in crypto, just the way their electricity, their mining, their grids are set up, that they're trying to limit all the mining in the country. Next, we have MicroStrategy hold an emergency meeting, not really emergency meeting, requesting to add more shares so they can buy more Bitcoin. Now, I hold MicroStrategy. When I hear this, I'm like, damn, the price of MicroStrategy is always going down right now. We're over 500, and now the thing's down to like $320 per share. And then you hear this, I just think of more dilution. So the price is going to go down even further. But that's the small brain, me looking in and thinking about it. But when I look at long term and trying to be smart about it, if he's issuing more shares, yeah, the price may go down for a little bit. But when the price of Bitcoin goes higher and higher and higher, that means I'm earning more Bitcoin per share that I hold. So that's good for me. So I like it. I'm not mad at this at all. You got to think of long term when you hold MicroStrategy. It's not a quick trade at all. If you believe in Bitcoin, then you would believe in the MicroStrategy stock and their plan. So interesting. And then lastly, IRS calls crypto staking taxable due to this ongoing lawsuit. Now, this is not a big lawsuit you would think IRS against a company or something like that. It's actually against a couple. And I guess they were taxed on a Tether staking that they had, and they didn't like it. So it went to court. And basically, it happened from, let's see here, 2021. They filed a lawsuit seeking a refund of $3,293 in taxes paid on Tezos tokens earned in 2019 through staking. At the time, the tokens weren't sold or exchanged, but the couple argued that since the tokens were new property created through their staking efforts, they should not be taxed until the assets are sold, much like farmer's crop and authorized in the author's manuscript or a manufacturer's product. So that's what I agree with that. Until you sell it and make the actual profit, it shouldn't be taxed. IRS disagrees. IRS even tried to make amends by giving them a $4,000 refund, but they said no. This couple said they wanted to take it all the way and set a precedent. So I hope they win, because if they don't win, if you're staking right now and they lose this case, then it could be taxable here if you're in the US. But kudos to them for taking the fight and not bending. That's interesting. I like to see what happens there. So, guys, if we take a look at the crypto space right now, there are a lot of deals. And I know I say this too much, but it's the truth. Next year, you're going to be thankful that you even DCA'd into these prices right now. You saw XRP was on a rip on the way to $3, and now it's back down to almost $2 again. Sol was at 260, now it's down to 185. I mean, the deals are crazy. And right now, it's probably one you want to take advantage in DCA. It's the hardest to DCA when the prices are going down. But for some reason, the human brain loves to DCA when the prices are going up. And that's FOMO. You want to be smart. You want to buy when prices are low. Don't buy when prices are high. So that's all I got for you today. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the time with your fam. It's the holiday season. Just relax. Try not to think about crypto too much. Just get your little dose of news here and there. Stay focused. Pay attention to the big headlines. Make sure that you're investing in the right things. And next year, hey, we're going to prosper. So until next time, talk to you later. Bye.